nail friends. So this is in no way going to be a perfect mani. It was requested from me and I did my best. So I'm going to be using products from OG Dip Powder. I'm using a little Stitches, which is the black. I'm using her clear dip powder and also her dip liquids. So, like I said, this was requested from another nail friend of mine, and she asked if I could recreate it and do a video. And I am right-handed, so using my left hand to do any kind of nail art or anything, it was struggle bus city. Like, I know this isn't technically nail art, but trying to take the brush of the dip powder pro base and using that with my left hand, like, I was struggling. I did speed this up because I was going super slow trying to get this the way that I wanted it to. Keep watching though, because by the time I get to my middle finger, I've kind of figured it out a little bit better, like how to hold my hand and all of that. Also, I broke my thumbnail on my left hand, so just look past that. I haven't fixed it yet. I noticed, like, I was really struggling. I wanted to make all of my lines straight, but the inspo picture, which if I still have it, I'll put it up here. I think she might have found it on like Pinterest, but it was curved, like the black or the nail design on it. I think that the picture was white, but it was like arched. But see, I did a lot better on my ring finger. And the nice thing about OG dip liquids is they dry slower than a lot of other dip liquids. Oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. And it gives me time to clean up, you know, if I mess up too bad, which I didn't think I messed up that bad, and I thought that they looked okay, but when I went to take my pictures, I was like, oh goodness, like my lines were not straight. Another thing, try to keep it off of your skin. I think I would have done better if I had did this on my left hand using my dominant hand, but the nails on my left hand are really short right now, and doing any kind of design or anything, it's always easier to do on longer nails. But just try to keep it off your skin. If you get it on your skin, just let it dry, and then usually you can just file it off with a nail file gently, and it comes off with no issues. So another thing that she was wanting was these to be matte, and OG Dip Powder does have a matte, and her matte is a gel, so that does need to be cured under a UV LED lamp. I will leave the one that I have linked down below. I think I cut this out, but I did go through. Oh no, I didn't. I show it. Okay, so I wanted to use just dip liquids, but you know, most matte top coats are a gel, so you have to cure them. But if you wanted to and you wanted these to be glossy, you could just finish what I do in the video and then just go over with your dip top coat, and you can use all dip liquids. So if you're not a fan of using any kind of gels, or you don't have a nail lamp and you don't want to mess with that, you can just finish off like you normally would with your dip liquids. So yeah, anyways, how has everyone been? It has been so ridiculously hot here today, and the weird thing, or not today, this week, the weird thing is though, the beginning of the week in the mornings at like 7 a.m. it was maybe 32 here, and then I was dressed like it was winter time. Like, I had my fluffy Santa socks on, my long pajama pants, like sweatshirts, and then now the end of this week, it is so ridiculously hot. Like, I can't even stand it. It's just, I like summer because I don't like winter and all the snow and plowing and shoveling and all of that, but like, it is just, it's too hot. Like, you can't even enjoy yourself right now. So here I am going in with the OG Dip Powder Clear, and I'm going to do 2 coats of this. I cut a lot of that out because by the time I got done with these nails, I had recorded an hour and like 45 minutes. So because I had to go so slow when I was doing the dip process. So excuse me. So this here, I went through, I did 2 dips. Now I'm taking a fluffy brush, getting off the excess clear. Then you're going to want to take a very stiff brush. You could even use like a toothbrush, and you want to, in every single direction, you want to get in there and just dust off that clear. And you want to make sure that you are like dusting off really, really good, because if any of that clear is left on there, that is what causes the cloudiness look that can happen in your nails. And I also wanted to mention, I am starting to learn with OG dip liquids, they are a more delicate liquid. So when I do my activator, I go to town. Like, I pile this stuff on like there is no tomorrow, and my nail is completely saturated. One, I find doing that much helps it to dry quicker, and 2, it hardens a lot quicker. It still is a slower drying activator though, so you need to be patient with it. It's going to take about 5 to 6 minutes for that to fully dry so that you can file and buff. So I left my pinky nail in just to show you, and then I cut the rest out because it took me forever to file these. But I was showing you at the beginning, I have this little bag of like a bunch of different drill bits, and I don't use them. I bought them and I don't use them. I just use these like sanding band things that come with pretty much every single nail drill when you buy it, and that's what I use. So I'm not sure what the other ones do, or if they work better than what I'm using. If you have any input on that, feel free to comment below, but I just have never use anything else. I just always just use these little tan colored sandy bit things that come with it. So after I get done filing, and you can use a hand file, I just find, especially when I'm trying to file my right hand with my left hand, it is easier to use an e-file because I'm just so awkward with my left hand. So after I file, get my nail shaped the way that I want to, on all of your nails, you want to make sure that you are going back in and you're buffing your nails completely smooth. The thing with matte gel polish is that if you leave any kind of scratches or anything like that on your nail, it's going to show up in the final product. So it could be a scratch, it could be dimples in your dip powder, it could be bumps, anything. It's going to show up in your matte top coat. Like, it shows all imperfections. So when you're buffing, buff a lot and then buff a little bit more, because it's not going to hurt anything. So after that, I went ahead, took my rubbing alcohol and a lint-free wipe, and I wiped my nails off. I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so that part isn't in here. Sorry about that, but that's all that I did. Then I'm going to take the OG Dip Powder base gel, and I'm going to do a coat of that and cure it for 30 seconds before I go in with my matte top coat. And at this point, this is where you could add your second coat of activator and do your dip top coat if you did not want to use gels. So everything up until this point you can use with dip liquids. So if you want to use dip liquids, just cut this part out and go in with your activator and your top coat, and you're good to go. But like I said, she requested that I do these matte, so that is what we're doing. The matte that I have, I don't know if I mentioned this, it is from OG Dip Powder, and my bottle is an older one, and it does not have her new bottle and label and all of that. But it is OG Dip Powder's matte top coat. I will leave it linked down below. It's amazing. It's a velvet matte. So this is when I got done, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they don't look that bad, but my pictures, you can see the imperfections and stuff in it. But I finish off with my favorite cuticle oil, and that is it. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.